Last question I have for you out of the gates here would be, nutrition is obviously important, right? It's the building blocks of all of our nerves, our muscles, right? Quality is important. We don't want to add more toxins via, plastics and hormones and pesticides, those kind of things. What are some of the foundational diet changes that you work on with your patients to really accelerate improvement? Is it the quality of the protein? Is it a certain amount? Is it fats? What are the best bangs for your buck with nutrition to get better healing?
So we're looking at everything through a neurological lens, and when we do
Mm-hmm.
that, we end up drawing many similar conclusions as you do through a functional medicine lens. So there's a ton of overlap. The maybe the way we speak about it, or maybe some of the things we prioritize or emphasize are a little different. But for us, one of the biggest especially in these autoimmune conditions, right? When you talk about the immune system and inflammation gone haywire, but also just for brain and nervous system health overall, inflammation is such a key, because if you eat an inflammatory meal, you'll see IQ drop 10
Yep.
or 20 points, because the inflammation impairs brain function so significantly and impairs peripheral nervous system function so
Blood flow
significantly.
too.
Yeah, absolutely. So for us, reducing inflammation is one of the highest priorities, be whether you're just looking at overall health or you're looking specifically through that lens of trying to optimize neurological function. So that becomes a big deal. Reducing inflammation. So we're looking at, cutting out as many omega-6 seed oils as possible. Look, getting more saturated fats from good, healthier sources. I mean, we're talking about, grass-fed beef or pasture-raised other animals or wild-caught fish, different
Mm-hmm.
things like that. The sources of fat become really important in reducing those omega-6s. Having good monounsaturated fats like avocado and
Mm-hmm.
olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
And assuming someone is screened for food sensitivities, and none of
Mm-hmm.
these things are going to be like an individual person's kryptonite or something. Like eggs can be great for some people,
Yep.
have a good health profile if they have those nice, good, dark orange yolks.
Correct.
But for some people have sensitivities and shouldn't have them.
So essentially, you're really pulling out all the inflammatory stuff, the refined sugar, the grains, those kind of things, maximizing good fats, maximizing good proteins, obviously having enough building blocks. So the tissue we're breaking down, there's enough reserves to build that tissue back up as well.
That's right. Yeah. So all those sources of fat I mentioned, the meats and eggs, also happen to have very good sources of protein associated with them. I also like collagen protein if we're trying to
Mm-hmm.
help someone rebuild
Yep.
tissues. And then also when we talk about inflammation and health of the nervous system, the gut is so important. So, I'm a big fan of, I have, different fiber powders that I put in my
Mm-hmm.
drinks every morning. And then, the nervous system also is a big input. So trying to do what we can to get that parasympathetic activation, as many times as we can throughout the day to help with digestion is also a huge deal.